You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 191.
Man, 191. I'm still Ralph the 5'9" this week because we got some on lock in the winter too.
Talk about it. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the podcast, and our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Make sure you holler at us. Also, we want to shout out WDJYFM 99.1 in Atlanta.
ATL.
Yeah, man. Shout out to OS Gang out there in Atlanta, man.
Johnny, we have went over the whole how you doing stuff, but for the people at home, the viewers on YouTube, Johnny, how you doing, brother?
I know it's funny, right?
Right.
I'm good, man. It's been we're a little bit off schedule with our recording, but it's been a very, very busy week, if I must say so myself.
Yeah.
But I'm good. Overall, I'm good. In high spirits. I'm feeling good. Yeah, man. It's just crazy. Adulting, man. Adulting. Yeah. It's crazy.
Adulting, no days off, bro. You know, PTO from adulting, bro. You
man,
don't really get a chance to unplug for real, man. I know. Even on vacation, your mind won't let you.
Word.
But man, everything's good, man. Like you said, it's a short recording week for us, but you know, you'll get this. The listeners and viewers will get this content on the regularly scheduled days. But
Word.
Man, we good, man. I'm just great. I can't really complain, man. I've been listening to a lot of music. It's summertime, man. It's summertime. It's just the sun is out, the rays are out. It's hot. You know, air. You gotta cut the air on. Drink a lot of water. But I'm just good though. Allergy season kicking my ass though.
Oh, absolutely. I took an allergy pill earlier. It knocked me out. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But no, summertime is definitely in full effect. Full effect. Everybody's outside. People at the park doing their thing. So yeah, man. Real quick though, before we get to it, I had a chance to go see a pre-screening of a movie called The Blackening.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen like previews and stuff of that?
No.
Oh, really? So
No.
it's technically like a black horror film. So it's like it's all black cast.
Mm-hmm. Anybody in there? Maybe I would know.
Yvonne Orji, Jay Farrow, they're in it.
Okay.
See, you know people, you know actors and actresses like real name. You know, I don't know their name for real. But there's a young lady that was in, I think she was in Dear White People that's in it.
Okay, Logan? Probably. Is she light skinned?
No, she's not light skinned.
Oh, okay, no, that's not Logan then.
But it's about a group of college friends who are like, this is post college. They get together at a house in the woods for Juneteenth, which is funny, right?
Yeah, that sounds like comedy already.
It's funny as hell. But they all get together. Of course, they got a little friction within the friend group.
Mm-hmm.
But they stumble into this game room where they find a game called The Blackening, and it's a game that asks like black culture related questions, and if you don't answer the question correctly, somebody in the group dies.
Oh man, I appreciate the concept of this film.
Oh no,
already.
I didn't know what to expect, but the movie was fire. The movie was fire. Like I really encourage people to go see this because you'll go in thinking it's one thing and then it's like completely different. It's like a mix between like Saw, Def Comedy Jam, and like black culture. Like it's the movie is fire. The movie is fire. The audience, we were all like talking back to the movie. It's like it was great. It was great, man. I definitely encourage y'all to go see it. It's a good movie. The Blackening. By the time this comes out, it would have dropped in theaters already. So just make sure y'all go check that out for sure.
I had no idea that was a thing. Like, and I mean, that could be the films that I have been seeing. Like, I can't see. You know, you can only catch so much. And then if the trailer wasn't attached to any film I've seen in the past 2-3 months, I didn't know it was there.
And especially you haven't been on social media as much as of late. So you probably wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's only so much you can catch. So I missed that one. But I'm me. I'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, if you ain't doing nothing on Juneteenth, just dropping on Juneteenth. Make sure y'all go check that out. Shit fire.
Hey man, what we doing? Off the dome?
Off the dome.
I got one.
Okay.
Yeah. Homonyms.
Okay, going back to school, yeah.
I know, right? I like Johnny perked up. That's my guy, man. But homonym is a word that's it's spelled differently, but it sounds alike, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about songs that have the same title, but it's real simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're two different sides of the black coin.
Yeah,
but trust me, one song is called O, and the other is called O. Okay. So we're gonna have Ciara's O featuring Ludacris, or Omarion's O. Which one are you picking? Simple.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, look.
You probably know where I'm about to go, right?
However you want to answer this, whatever your preference is, whatever your setting is, whatever, to make the question easier for you, like.
This is pretty simple for me, actually. Mm-hmm. The way that Ciara was on top of that car in that video, I'm absolutely going with Ciara's version. Absolutely.
I understand, and I get that, but I got two reasons, right? I'm gonna go with Omarion's, though, right?
Okay.
That's a song I'm probably more than likely gonna listen to first, right? I think I'll probably cut on Omarion first.
Okay.
Right? And then you can get the chick to do the Ciara type stuff with the old song playing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Big dude.
Looking at it. Talk about it. But see, also, it's been this question going around social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Asking black men, or asking men, I guess, what song sang by a woman do you sing at the top of your lungs? I would absolutely sing that shit if it came on. Absolutely.
Oh, Ciara. Oh.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure. So that's lit. I like it. All right. So for my off the dome, right? Have you ever heard a song that you really like that's been, song that's kind of old, you vibe to all the time, right? Mm-hmm. But one day that same song comes on and you finally like pay attention and comprehend the lyrics to the song, and it's a completely different meaning from what you were vibing to before.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you, like, have you ever like actually comprehended the lyrics of a song and it was a completely different meaning from what you thought it was before?
You go first. I'm thinking.
Okay, so for my answer, couple weekends ago, driving back from Shreveport to see my nephew for his birthday with my mom. I turn on the Earth, Wind, and Fire playlist, just vibing out with my mom, right? The song Reasons comes on. Now I've known this song since I was a child. I built this song whenever I hear it because it's a vibe. It's a great song, right? But I actually start listening to the lyrics. This song is about a one-night stand. I thought Reasons was like a love song, like I love you, baby. Like I've heard that song at weddings before, but that's about a one-night stand. After the love games have been played, all our illusions are just a parade. It didn't click to me until I was in the car just driving, listening. Like, hey, yo, like, wait.
Well, yeah,
he don't like this. He don't like this lady.
it happens, right? Because like you hear songs and nostalgia is attached to it or whatever, and then you have to go through your own life experiences sometimes to really get to that end game.
For sure.
Right? And I would definitely say like I'm going pop right now.
Okay.
Backstreet Boys, All I Have to Give, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dirty Mac anthem.
Okay.
Listen, I don't care what he does to make you cry. I'll be there to make you smile. Hold on. I don't have a fancy car to get to you. I'll walk 1,000 miles. Cause my love is oh no, fuck all that. You're dirty macking on somebody's woman, bruh. Like you listen to the shit they kicking. Go back and listen to it. You be like, hey, yo, that's what
That's
y'all
funny.
want? In 5-part harmony.
No, hey, it's dope. NSYNC got a song like that too called "It Makes Me Ill," but I think it's very blatant that song is Dirty Mackin. But still,
Yeah, but this was their single. Like this was Backstreet Boys single. Like, oh, like, oh, we coming out the gate with
they
it.
not
Oh,
they not bullshit.
they not playing.
Man, what? That's funny. That's
5-part
funny. But
harmony.
no, that's crazy. And then I think I recall, and this is kind of I guess tangent, but I feel like the song "Ribbon in the Sky" by Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like somebody told me that was about like a woman having miscarriage or abortion or something to that effect. I don't know if
I thought that was Maxwell. I mean, that could be a
not.
Stephen Wonder
Oh,
joint too.
pretty wings, pretty wings. That too.
Oh, I thought it was this woman's work.
Oh, this. Oh, I don't know. Maybe, maybe both. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But no, that's crazy. So yeah, that's off
But
the
yeah,
dome, man.
right, people. That was off the dome, man. Homonym, man. Which song you going with? Ciara O or Omarion O?
Yep. And what song had a different meaning from what you initially thought? Let us know.
Yes, sir. OS gang, what's happening? What's up? We got a few topics here on the docket this week. First things first, we have to talk about our Yeezy Day 2023 experience, man. Adidas confirmed that Kanye West, whoever, right? They decided to drop all the Yeezys between May 31st and June. Was it June the 2nd, I think?
I feel like it was June 2nd.
I feel like it was June the 2nd. But first, let's talk about the fact that they are donating proceeds to various charities. One being the George Floyd Foundation, and another being I forgot the name of the actual foundation, but it's against anti-Semitism. So, Johnny, let's talk about maybe the proceeds being donated by Adidas, and then let's talk about maybe our experience with ordering these shoes.
Yeah, man. So first of all, Ralph and I, as OS, right? We predicted that they was gonna have to sell these shoes at some point. We didn't know when it was coming, but it happened. It happened, right? I think it was a great PR move by Adidas to say that they're going to donate some of the proceeds that they received from the Yeezy Day.
Yeah.
Kanye West is owed money. Like he's going to get money from the sale of these shoes because he owns the trademark. So Kanye West is going to get his money, whatever the percentage is. But I think it was a smart PR move from Adidas to say, hey, you know what? We gotta get rid of this inventory. We talked to our board of directors and all this good stuff, and they all agreed that it's okay that we sell and donate. So I think it was smart. It was definitely smart on their part. And at some point they was gonna have to get rid of the inventory anyway because they was losing money. Like they can't produce more shoes because they didn't have anywhere to hold it because the Kanye inventory was holding up space. So it's for them. I think they found a good way out of getting rid of that inventory. So Kanye West gets his money. They get rid of the inventory, frees up space for them to produce whatever they're gonna, whatever their next venture is. So I think it was a great move by them.
Man, because Adidas was losing money by that inventory sitting there, and with Yeezy being their highest seller, clearly,
right?
They had to do something with those shoes. Either this is what you could have did. You could have donated them or shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or sell them. Like, but there was no in between with that, right?
Right.
Because you already had these shoes that were mass produced. You could have gave them to homeless people. We didn't have to have them. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, if you were really like not about the money. Yeah. But I ain't telling you not to be about the money. But y'all kept talking about, oh, we don't, man, shut up.
Facts.
They sold them. at the same price point. They ain't break price point either.
Man, look, and I was hoping they would too.
I
was hoping they
like
would.
remember we talked about that. They're gonna drop the price. Shit.
Man, look, I feel like they might have added extra text on that mug. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what's funny though? It didn't say, at least the article we read, didn't say how much of the proceeds go to those organizations. They didn't say that, or how much that they would keep themselves. Because come on, Adidas is a for-profit company, right? So they're not just going to give all the proceeds away. It's no way that's
it's a set amount. Like there's no like we're going to give 3%. No.
Yeah.
It's 100,000, and that's the cap. Like you know what I'm saying? That's the hard cap on there. You know what I'm saying? And then Kanye was due. I think. Well, he was going through a legal battle with Adidas, and they froze $75 million that was owed to him. But the judge actually sided with Kanye on this. So Kanye's getting his 75 mil, so he's not broke. You know, right. Sidebar. I hate that I somewhat put money in this man's pockets this time because it's like as soon as my order confirmations come in, and we'll get to the actual shoes, right?
Yeah.
This nigga was with his new wife with a shirt with shoulder pads in it, and he had no shoes on. Like he had on socks. He was outside walking with socks on and a shirt with shoulder pads.
He like an NFL blitz character.
He looked like you know how kids look like when they get out of like Little League practice. Like like Pop Warner practice. Like that's what he looked like. I'm like, where are your shoes, bro? I was like, damn man, I'm funding this. Like that's how I felt. Like I'm funding this foolery because I want some shoes.
Hey man, I was able to get my first ever pair of Yeezys because I figured why not? I mean, they probably won't ever be sold again, at least this iteration of them. So let me just attempt. Let me attempt. And
so let's get to the actual ordering process. The Confirmed app, they had 3 pair of shoes. Leading up until May 31st, saying that these shoes would drop, and it was only 3 pairs. It was like, okay. And then, me and Johnny started talking about it. So, you sign up, put your information in, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. Then all of a sudden, May 31st comes, all hell breaks.
Oh, man, it was crazy.
It's like one raffle after another. They start putting all the shoes out. Like, they was like, we getting rid of all of them. In the next 3 days, you better come get them because we giving them away. Well, not giving them away. Just have your credit card ready, baby.
Do you think Adidas was prepared for the response that they got in selling these shoes?
Absolutely. I don't see how you weren't. Like, this is the thing, right? Adidas knows what their number one seller is. Like Kanye has rapped years ago, the Yeezy has jumped over the Jumpman, and that is very true. The Yeezy brand has become a global brand in such a short amount of time. Kanye is a fucking rapper. At least Michael Jordan was a NBA icon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, respectfully, right? You have never seen an artist endorse or a designed sneaker like this before. You know what I'm saying? We never had this before. And it's a global brand. Yep. Like, niggas in Europe, like they wear these in Europe like they wear Nikes, like they wear Jordans, or in Asia or in other countries. So it's their global brand, it's their global flagship sneaker. So of course you would think your company, your $1 billion company, should have the bandwidth to handle the traffic coming to their damn app.
Right.
Especially when they break up the app, especially like the way things work. Like, this is a US app. Like, Confirmed, this version of Confirmed is a US app. And then they got the UK app. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to it. Like, it's certain shoes that, like, at least in Britain or UK, or at least that's across the pond, certain shoes drop before they dropped in the US, or vice versa.
Yep.
So I still feel like, that's bullshit. Like, I mean, not to say that things don't happen, but it's like you were very aware that this could happen.
Yeah. It's crazy because the May 31st, when the raffles actually like began, I put, so like Ralph said, I put in my raffle ticket or bid or whatever for the black 350s. So that day, the raffle started at like 9 a.m. I'm talking all day, literally all day. My raffle in progress. And then in the process of that, so those 3 shoes that were preloaded, in the process of those raffles going, they dropped so many other different pairs on the app the same day. Like
exactly.
it was mayhem.
Mayhem.
And look, to the point where later on that night, the app crashed. Like I couldn't. I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't log in. Like I reset my password. I still couldn't. Like, it was crazy. It was nuts. It was insane.
I didn't have that experience. My experience was more so like, I was in and I never had any issues. I won 3 raffles. One was like, if I get it, cool. But I got it. I was like, damn it. And it was the most expensive one. I was like, oh.
That's usually how I go. That's how I go.
Right. But the ones I was kind of like, I want, I didn't get, right? So it was a fairly good day for me if you just like, oh, I want shoes and I got shoes. So there's no quarrels with that. It's just the experience because right now, if I go to my confirmed app, even though I finally got all my shoes, which was another thing, they still say in processing. Like, because that's how bad the app is acting.
I thought I was tripping.
Oh, no, you weren't. Like, and then the only way you truly got like the shoes, like, of course you get your confirmation, but I'm talking about the actual email itself from Adidas saying, hey, your order is confirmed, is on the way, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then, I went through the experience of getting charged that day. And then after 2-3 days, it fell off. And I was like, dang, they ain't gonna send me the shoes. Well, I'm X hundreds up. So, all right, cool.
Right, yeah.
And then I paid my credit card. You know what happened? The next day? Like, no. Right after my payment posted, right? The charge from Adidas came back. I'm like,
where? That's crazy.
I'm like, that's
crazy.
All right. so I'm like, dude, man, count your motherfucking days, man. Like I had that counted on this check, not the next one.
Right now. Damn.
Ravens do, goddamn, what I'm supposed to do, Johnny?
I don't know, man. They fucking up people. Hey,
I'm be outside fresh as hell, baby.
Look, right? Look, that's all that matter, right?
Right.
It's summertime. Remember, summertime. We outside. We outside. That's crazy.
That's it.
So okay, so this was my first time using the confirmed app. So I want to act like, which app do you prefer? Do you prefer sneakers or do you prefer confirmed? Which one? Or is it like the same?
I want more confirmed. So
well, there you go. There you go.
I mean, I think the thing with sneakers, I just kind of tapped out because the only thing I would go over there is Jordans. And if I ain't looking for a particular pair, oh well. Yeah. And I've only won on the confirmed app when I'm trying to get Yeezy. So
got it.
That's how they work.
I mean, what else do they even really put on there for real?
I mean, well, Adidas has, it's like Nike. They have other shoes outside of Jordan's Air Force Ones. Like, it's just like, do you want to get them too? Like, they're there. They have drops. Like, they're just not as popular, right? Because Adidas has Gucci collaborations. They have collaborations with Bad Bunny. They have collaborative sneakers with other entities outside of like a Kanye. It's just the Yeezy is Yeezy.
Yeah, that's a dope enunciation too. I caught that. Collaborative, I love it. But no, man, that's crazy. But shout out to Adidas. They finally got rid of the inventory. I know all them shit's gone too. I know they are.
Yeah, and now I will ask this. This can be maybe our last question on this topic. They are gearing up for possibly more releases of the last of the inventory. That's not even the last ones. Could you find yourself going through this again?
Only if now remember we talked about those mint joints.
Yeah.
Only if those come out. Outside of them, I don't really care.
That's fair.
I mean, the slides look cool, but I ain't really the slide guy. Like they ain't really my.
And then it's kind of like those slides are meant to be like worn outside. Like they're more of a statement, right? Because I mean, if you just wearing, because slides are meant to be worn in the house. But over the past, let's say 2 to 3 years, right, they become more of a fashion piece outside of the house.
Yeah, and that just ain't me. The only place I wear slides or in the house and on the beach. That's it.
My point exactly. So
yeah, I ain't
nah,
spending $70 to wear some shit on the beach. That's crazy. That's insane. No, thank you. But yeah, shout
well.
out Adidas, man, and the Confirmed app.
Well, we talking about black partnerships, black business, and all that great stuff. Let's talk about another black business. And Tyler Perry was in talks to buy BET, but the talks have turned into him actually purchasing the controlling stake in BET along with VH1 for an undisclosed amount. Johnny, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Who do we think would get it? Diddy, Byron Allen, or Tyler Perry? Our vote was, well, I know my vote wasn't for Tyler.
Yeah, mine's wasn't either.
But Tyler Perry, he got the golden ticket. He's Willy Wonka now.
Thanks.
What you got?
The interesting part about that is I didn't really think about this before, but Tyler Perry, out of those three that we just named, I'm certain has the most capital, like himself, out of those three, to be able to make that type of purchase.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not really a surprise to me that Tyler Perry was able to actually go through and make the purchase. Now, why Paramount, because that's the previous owner, why Paramount chose to go with Tyler Perry over the other two, I have no idea. I'm going to assume it's for the money, because essentially they don't really care whoever they sell it to, I imagine, because they would no longer own it. But I do want to shout out Tyler Perry. He does have his studio in Atlanta, so I'm not sure where most of BET's, do they even have like original content for real outside of like the Tyler Perry shows? Like BET, not BET Plus.
I haven't watched BET, the channel, in so long. Yeah, I really don't want to lie to you, bro. Outside of like the award shows, I can't tell you. I really can't. So I'll be lying to sit here and say I'm excited for what's coming, because I don't know. Like I have no idea. Like I know Tyler Perry does have his studios, and he makes show content for BET. Like, you know, the show stuff goes on BET Plus or whatever. So this can be a good or a bad thing. I don't know. Like BET being a publicly owned company, I believe, like, you know what I'm saying, he does have stakeholders and people that Tyler Perry probably would have to answer to. Or at least, you know, make decisions alongside with, because this is not Tyler Perry Studios, this is BET. Right. Now, if he wants to turn it to Tyler Perry Network, all right, TPN, like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying, if he wants to do that, like, I mean,
please don't do that.
Well, this is the thing, right? We always talk about, and Tyler Perry, I mean, we have talked about Tyler Perry a lot on this podcast, and just in the sense of, I remember his riveting speech at the BET Awards when he talked about building the table, and now he's pretty much, you know, built his own table, but he's used the leverage of building the table to buy the house. If you want to be honest, like, you know, he didn't get the kitchen, he got the house. So if the resources of BET, the network, the, you know, satellites, whatever comes along with, or, you know, buying a TV network, he has access to now. You know, somebody that used to be a playwright that wrote plays on the Chitlin circuit, you know what I'm saying, that only really y'all mamas would watch, you know what I'm saying? Like, he owns a black network, bro. Like, he ain't go to no school. Like, he not cut from a cloth. Like,
it's fire,
bro. It's a beautiful story, but I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm excited for the idea, but I'm not really caring about what the content is going to provide. If he's going to come with a nostalgic BET feel where we can have black nightly news, where we can have black music being talked about in those spaces, like it doesn't have to be 106 in Park, but just a show that discuss new up and coming music, and you have, you know, the old school segment, like, you know what I'm saying, like, if you have like another a comedy special like Comic View, or like, you know what I'm saying, like showcasing different aspects of the black experience, if he can do that, I'm for it. But I'm not putting that expectation on Tyler Perry.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is. I'm not putting all that on Tyler Perry, bro.
So the interesting thing, at least this is my thought process, right? So Tyler Perry is the owner now.
Yeah.
Great, beautiful, great, amazing. Shout out to Tyler Perry, right? Being the owner doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to control the day-to-day operations. Who's in charge of planning the BET Awards? Who's in charge of content creation, who's in charge of new shows, who's in charge of the lineup, all of that. Yeah. I imagine Tyler Perry would seek someone to hire in order to be the person in charge of those things. Yeah, he may have his input on, hey, let's just do this way. We'll have this show this night, things like that. Maybe we'll add this to the BET Awards, Hip Hop Awards, all that. Cool. But he would not be the sole person hand picking shows and putting together ideas for specific things to be on the network. Yeah. So I think we should just applaud Tyler Perry, first of all, and let's give it 12 to 18 months just to see the things that are implemented, because even though he just purchased shit probably today, like, it's going to take a while for changes to really take effect.
And, I mean, think about this in the sense of owning the sports team, right? The owner is the guy up in the sky, the evil guy up in the sky, right? The guy that pays all the money, but he does get everybody else to make those decisions.
Yep.
The caveat in this conversation is that you had somebody that was in the entertainment space making shows and content, and then they become the person that owns the ship. So now it's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where the expectations come from. Because if Byron, I don't know. I don't want to use Byron Allen because he comes from entertainment, and then Diddy is a former entertainer himself, but a businessman turned entertainer, right? Both. But it's like, if it was just a random black billionaire with no entertainment experience, but he was just a black guy, I don't think we would have these expectations of him or her if they were getting ready to purchase BET. The reason why Tyler Perry gets all this is because Tyler Perry, we know him from making plays, making movies, making this, making that. Cool. That's why. You know what I'm
saying? As long as he don't write, produce, executive produce, everything.
He did all that. That's the thing. He got all that, right? It's like, bro, them shows already over there and they terrible as hell. Let's keep that on BET Plus behind that paywall. But for the people that, behind the extra paywall, but for the people that pay for cable, deserve better content. Man, and then not only BET, he got VH1.
VH1, yeah.
And VH1 it might as well be BET.
Well, yeah, exactly. So
we took that from the whites. People don't even talk about that. That's you know how MTV got MTV2? That's pretty much what VH1 is. It's BET. Yeah, it's got Wild 'N Out and all this and all these bad girls. They got all that goofy shit over there. Like, it got
so that's a great point though, right? Because whoever was I'm assuming it was Paramount, right? So
Paramount,
Nick Cannon,
Paramount,
Viacom, one of them. So Nick Cannon, well, they had an issue with Nick Cannon because Wilder now had become like $1 billion brand, right? Not just the show, but they got restaurant, they got all kind of shit, right? Mm-hmm. So somehow they worked out a deal to where Wilder now was able to come back on air. Mm-hmm. So with that, I wonder if Wilder now is under that umbrella of purchase between BET and VH1. I guess it's not, because if it was, there would have been like a story. Like, I feel like somebody would have said it.
I'll say this. There's no way on God's green earth they let Nick Cannon get 100% of that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Because it makes too much money.
Yeah.
But it is on VH1. It is under Viacom or whoever, right? Tyler Perry might have a piece of that now.
That's interesting. Damn, that's interesting. I feel like it's a lot of interesting points that can come out of this, like a lot of different branches, like the timeline when it shifts. Like, it's crazy.
Johnny, my guy, my brother, you always do this, man.
You
know what you was doing there. Well, Johnny just gave us a great segue into the multiversal saga, but we will not get into our Spiderverse review just yet. We got a few things to talk about with the MCU and everything that's coming down the pipeline or not coming down the pipeline. Johnny, we are getting into the WGA writers' strike and how it's affecting the MCU. A lot of flagship titles are being pushed back or pushed up. What do you think is gonna happen, bro?
Man, I don't know, but the writers' strike is affecting a lot. It's affecting current shows that have our current shows and movies that were in the process of being produced and written, shows and movies that were already the writing was already done and was about to be filmed.
Yeah.
Like shit is shifting. Things are shifting, right? So much so that Marvel, well, Disney has shifted a lot of the upcoming, actually all of their movies, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar movies, but we're going to focus on the Marvel movies, right? Ooh. So the very first headline that I saw a couple days ago was that the next two Avengers movies, Kang Dynasty and also Secret Wars, both of them were pushed back a year. So now Kang Dynasty is coming out in May of 2026 instead of 2025. And now Secret Wars will be out in 2027. That is what, 3 and 4 years from now? So we have to wait another 3 years for the multiverse saga to be concluded, basically. Which is insane to think about.
Well, Johnny.
Yes.
Have you ever considered things to be blessings in disguise?
I like where you're going with this.
Because listen,
tell me more.
well, maybe I won't say we, because I know Johnny had a lot of faith for Phase 4. We had to sit through a lot with Phase 4, right?
It's true.
And they're trying to rewrite a lot of wrongs in Phase 5. And the key to a lot of this stuff has been the writing. I don't think it's been direction. I don't think it's been CGI. I don't think it's been any of that. The technicality of the writing has suffered in Phase 4 because it lacked direction and it lacked stars, but that's something else.
Yeah.
It lacked direction with the writing. So now Marvel gets a chance to take the foot off the gas and not be the machine right now. Kind of retool and refocus and give these characters some real life and real brevity to where we enjoy seeing them on screen again. Because you got to think about it like this. And now I'm about to get into a tangent, right?
Now let's go.
We getting back to the fact that we don't have like people that's really like big comic book characters, even though they may be great actors, right? This is going to tie into Captain America New World Order or the change of the film, right?
Right.
Anthony Mackie is a good actor, but do we give a fuck about Falcon? No. But they're putting Hulk in the film and giving it a Hulk storyline where it probably needs it because we don't give a fuck about Falcon as a character. We don't give a fuck about Sam Wilson. Respectfully.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right.
Point 2. Don Cheadle, amazing actor, leading man. He's been in a few films. He throw accents. He can be African, Chinese, whatever you need to be. He talk like that.
Shout out to Rush Hour 2.
Right, exactly. That's all. My only point of reference is him talking in Chinese. But he's starring in Armor Wars. They taking Armor Wars from being a MCU like show,
yep,
and making it a film.
Yep.
When have we ever cared about Rhodey?
Not that
we
much.
barely cared about Tony Stark. So the writing has to be on point because you're selling us characters that are respectfully beneath the niggas that y'all made us care about.
Yeah, these are the sidekicks. That's crazy.
These the sidekicks.
These the sidekicks.
Bro. Bro.
It's
so
true.
It's like, I want y'all to put y'all foot in the ass of this writing. So blessing in disguise.
You know,
I don't want Don Cheadle to take a hit. I don't want Anthony Mackie to take a hit. I don't want this.
Well, Anthony Mackie gonna take a hit anyway. You seen the Twisted Metal trailer? You seen that shit?
Oh no, I ain't seen it.
What you're familiar with the game Twisted Metal, right?
The game Twisted Metal. PlayStation, man. PlayStation OG, man.
Oh, big fact. So they're adapting that into a TV show on Peacock.
Oh.
And the teaser like scene or trailer, whatever, did not favor Anthony Mackie at all. It did not favor my man. That shit was crazy.
Oh, man. But I'm Tupac. All right.
Yeah, he wasn't in that trailer, I'll tell you that. But anyway, back to the film slate, right?
All right,
so
right.
With the shift in dates, the only movie that has been moved up is Deadpool 3. So Deadpool 3 is now scheduled to come out May 3rd of 2024, which initially I think it was supposed to come out either late 24 or early 25, if I remember correctly.
I think it was late. I think it might have been like, wasn't it like summer 24? I mean, I might be wrong on this, but
it might have been like September, if I'm not.
Yeah, it was
like
something
August
like that. But
September,
this is my read on the Deadpool thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for one, nobody can ever be Deadpool again. It can only be Ryan Reynolds,
Big
and then
facts.
he's like 48. Like I mean, I'm exaggerating the age, but you know, he getting up there. So Ryan Reynolds, he getting old. One, it's been when did Deadpool 2 come out?
Ooh,
It's been a while. It was
hey,
I want to say it was
that's
before
been.
pandemic, bro.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
That might have been
oh.
19.
See, I think it might have been before that actually.
It might have been 18. No, I think the first one came out in 18.
Deadpool 2. 2018.
Deadpool 2 was 2018?
2018. Yep.
That means the first one was 16.
Let's see. Deadpool. The first one. Yep, 16.
Okay, 16, 18. You're talking about a sequel. Well, we seen sequels, 20 years later, so never mind. But just, a sequel, same character, same linear timeline, right? Same storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
From 18 to 24? That's
Crazy.
that's a nice little while, bro. Especially when everything was trying to be connected, right? They were making at least a Deadpool universe, right? They were making an X-Force universe, like at least in that space. So, but Ryan Reynolds is known to be like, I'll help, on the production side of things. So I think that's where that comes into play. Why this movie is actually getting pushed up. And maybe they need to like rush and introduce Wolverine and the X-Men characters and whatever that's gonna bring to this multiversal saga because it's gonna start tying in. So I think that's why you push Deadpool up. And I'm not really upset at that.
I think you have to give the people something, right? So
yeah.
And I can't remember the third movie that was supposed to come out in 24, but so Deadpool comes out May 3rd, 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
Captain America Brave New World, which is the new title, Brave New World, that comes out July 26th of 2024, and then the Thunderbolts gets pushed back to December 20th. December 20th, 2024.
Wow.
So we get a Thunderbolts movie in December, right? Mm-hmm. And then the next Marvel movie after that is Blade. Blade comes out February 14th, 2025. And here's an interesting tidbit. Shout out to Van Lathan. I saw him tweet this the other day. Mm-hmm. When Blade comes out, and this is for you, Ralph, Mahershala Ali is going to be 50.
Listen, I've been saying it.
You have?
I've been saying it.
You have been
saying it. This is karma for y'all fucking with Wesley. Wesley, somebody put this out there, and it was a fan theory, and I don't want to take complete credit for it, but I love the concept, right? Mm-hmm. They could have had Mahershala as the new Blade, cool, and had Wesley as the new Whistler.
Oh, that would have been hard.
Now that would have been cold. Now I don't know anything about the comics. I don't know if Whistler was white or black or whatever, but fuck that. Let's reimagine it's Wesley. Fuck y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
we got a black area. We good.
Listen, if they recasting Jonathan Majors, allegedly.
allegedly.
Hey man, Mahershala Ali is about to be 50? 50. In a movie that requires a lot of action. So it's like they lost the director. I bet. You had to rewrite scripts when niggas was writing. Now no one's writing.
Which is partially why it has been pushed back, because they stopped writing because the writers on strike. Crazy, right? So that's Valentine's Day 2025.
So that's the third film that has a strike against a black actor. I'm sorry, I'm pointing them out.
Hey man, it's like that. And then so it looks like we only get 2 Marvel films in 2025. So Blade is February 14th. Mm-hmm. The next one is May 2nd, and that's Fantastic Four. Okay. So Fantastic Four in 2025, which I think begins Phase 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Bro, they'll push that back again if they need to. They ain't gonna fumble Fantastic Four. They'll fumble Blade before they fumble Fantastic Four.
Which I feel like they might have to. Which which is also why I think that they don't have another Marvel movie in 2025 because they think they may have to push that back again. That's my logic there.
Blessing in disguise, right? Because critically, the Fantastic Four films have always been panned, right? You might have found your bright spots and you might enjoy one or two or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But critically, they have never been loved. This is the chance for the redemption arc of that team. So now it's time for the writers to be on board.
And that gives them a little bit more time to actually like finalize casting too, because I'm assuming they don't have the cast set in place just yet.
I keep hearing other stuff like it's like Margot Robbie is gonna be invisible. I mean, Sue Storm or whatever.
Yeah.
Until it comes out, we'll talk about it. I have nothing for that.
Yeah, me either.
I got nothing for that. Did you want to do a secret invasion real quick before we get to Spider-Verse or what?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, Secret Invasion is coming out June 21st. This comes out on the 19th.
Yes.
So we'll be probably action-packed, blurred, topic heavy next week as well.
Yep.
Especially with Flash coming out, another story. But you got anything for Secret Invasion on,
I mean, so there was a website. I don't remember. Secretinvasion.com, I guess. I don't remember. But
yeah, the invasion is coming or some shit.
Yeah, some shit. But they sent an encrypted file on that website where all you had to do was put in the password and you got to see a 5-minute clip from what I'm assuming is the first episode. We actually don't know if that's from the first episode. We don't know for sure. But I watched the 5-minute clip and it's just dialogue between Agent Ross and another guy that's been like kind of unfolding the Skrull invasion basically.
Yeah.
And actually it's a very, very entertaining 5 minutes of dialogue between the two. Well, do you really think these strikes are not coordinated and all this kind of stuff? And it was interesting to me because the last time we saw Agent Ross, he was getting saved by Okoye because he was being taken away by the CIA. So the fact that he's actually out on the move, I guess in hiding on his own now, is like, how did he get away from Okoye? Did Okoye just get him out the van and let him go? Like, what actually happened there? So I hope we get some kind of backstory or maybe just, some dialogue on what happened there. But it seems as if Secret Invasion is going to be pretty fire. I'm getting really heavy Winter Soldier vibes here, like the whole espionage and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Did you get a chance to watch the clip?
You know me, I watched like 3 minutes, but I mean, I get the concept, right? Like because it was an intense exchange because you felt how frantic my man's was, seriously. And then how nonchalant Everett Ross was. He's like, hey, man, look, you know who we are. Like, it was it kind of came off as arrogant that they wouldn't dare. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt.
So I look at it like Everett Ross already knew all the information and he's kind of shocked and is wondering why this other guy knows all of this stuff. Who is this guy? How does he know? How does he know what we know already? That's kind of how I took it.
That's fair. But hey, we'll find out. June 21st.
Listen, six episode season. I'm with it. Hopefully the episode's about 45 minutes, but we'll see.
I would think so. At six episodes, 45, strong. You know what I'm saying?
I need that.
All right, man. We are here. Movie review time. Hold on. What's the title? Let me. I don't want to mess this up.
Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse.
Okay, I didn't. It was a lot going on with that. Okay, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, sequel to the 2018 film? 2018 film.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. We're back with Miles Morales, man. We back in New York. Johnny, you know how we do this when we usually get into the film space. We usually tell what we like about the film, like just the overall art. We get into the nuts and bolts, and then we do like an overall rating at the end.
Yes, sir. All
Johnny,
right.
What did you think about Across the Spider-Verse?
Well, Across the Spider-Verse, this is our second animated film with Miles Morales. I thought this was a very, very great sequel. I think this is one of those rare occasions where the sequel is better than the first movie. I enjoyed the animation style in the movie I thought was phenomenal, especially getting from the different universe. She was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the story was great. I thought the points of view, they kind of followed the first movie, but the points of view were a little different in the second movie. Overall, I loved it. I loved it. I thought this movie was great.
John, I hate to tell you this, man, but I wholeheartedly agree with you. Like,
I was like, oh shit, my heart dropped. I was like, oh,
really?
shoot.
Like,
we
come on, bro.
finna
Like,
debate.
Bro,
We finna debate.
cut the mic, cut the cameras dead ass. Like, we gotta talk. But no, I mean, this movie was great, man. I will say this: it's been a while since I've seen the original, the first film.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember key points and things like that, and it kind of came back to me as you watch the sequel.
Yeah.
This movie was great, bro. Like an animated film tugging at your emotions in this way. You see the emotions of this kid trying to figure it out, missing somebody that lives a universe, a multiverse away. The emotions with his parents, wanting to tell them the truth, hiding who he really is, and having that internal struggle that most heroes have. Like
All facts.
we get into that a lot, especially with the Spider-Man character, that internal struggle of what to do and what not to do. Because since all the Spider-Men, at least the ones that we are very, very involved with, are kids.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
In their form. So the animation, the story, the music, like, bro, chef's kiss. Like that's what I got for you. Like,
she was phenomenal. She was
yes, yes.
phenomenal.
Let's get into it, bro. I mean, what can you say? What you want to get to? You want to get to Miles first? Like what?
No.
When
Let's
Stacy, it
yes.
starts with Gwen.
I was gonna say let's start with Gwen,
That was
right?
a long ass intro too, bro.
But wasn't it fire though? Wasn't
I
it
mean,
fire?
no. I forgot that it was like,
Look,
this is the intro. Oh, that's crazy. That's like, oh, this is wow.
But if you think about it though, with that intro and how the story was told, I feel like this sequel is told from Gwen's perspective. Like, of course, we see everything with Miles. We see everything with Miles. I feel like this entire movie was told from her perspective. So, like, we start with her story and how her Peter Parker was her best friend. He turned into the lizard. She stopped him and he ended up dying. Like, but from there, everything else that happens, I feel like is from her perspective. So we see Miles. She shows up where Miles is. He follows her to the next universe, right? And he's basically following her throughout the movie. She knows that he's going to be the key to like basically messing up all of reality if he saves his dad. She's going to be the one to ultimately put together the team to save him in Beyond the Spider-Verse. This is a Gwen Stacy movie, I feel like. Which I'm not mad at, but I just looking at it, it's like, oh snap, this is not even
okay. Because I'll say this, I wouldn't say full Gwen Stacy. That's where I have the pushback, right? But there are movies where you have duality, where there can be two leads and two stories are being told at the same time, but they're simultaneous.
True.
So, like when you said that, I didn't think of it in that way, but it did start off heavy Gwen Stacy. Then you go into pockets of Miles, and it's like it weaved in and out, but it was seamless. Yes. So I do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Like you see Gwen, like we really got into Gwen's backstory, and her killing her best friend, and her missing Miles, like being a universe away, and then they're fighting the it was like a Machiavellian type of lizard or something like that.
Oh, you mean the Vulture?
Yeah, the Vulture. Yeah. But it was like
he
that.
Was from like a Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. That was like, that was crazy. But it was like, so you fighting him, and then now you get the multiverse spider. I forget his name, and then I know you had Spider Woman, voiced by Issa Rae.
Yeah. Are you talking about Miguel?
Yeah,
Miguel O'Hara.
And then Spider Woman, I forgot what her name was. So
Jessica Drew.
Jessica Drew. Okay. Yeah. Then she pulled up pregnant on the bike. They fighting the Vulture. I keep saying Vulture. Is it Vulture?
Yeah, that's Vulture.
Oh, okay, it's Vulture. So they fighting Vulture, kicking his ass or whatever because he made out of paper mache. And it's so and then that's where the ultimate standoff becomes between her and her father. And she let like, hey, I'm not who you think I am. Like, and then she had to unmask herself. And he was really good. He was gonna arrest his daughter. I'm like, you crazy. You crazy. But that was a real emotion though, right?
Right.
Because he spent all his time. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know what it's like to be in a situation like that where you choose the law over your child.
Mm-hmm.
And your child is just a vigilante, not necessarily a criminal. So I don't know how that works, but he's Captain Stacy. He leads the charge on it. So how does it look if I let this walk away?
Right.
I live in house. I live in the house with you. Uh
I know it's
so many emotions.
the emotion and the standoff there to the point where they actually allow Miguel and Jessica Drew actually allow Gwen Stacy to go with them back to their universe. Like it, as heartbreaking as the scene was, it was a great scene, right? Like the best scenes are the ones that evoke emotion, like any type of emotion, right? So that shit was beautiful. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah, it was. And then you that's pretty much the intro, right?
Yeah, right.
Then you get to Miles. Miles is still doing Spider-Man's type things. You get wasn't it introduction to the spot at that
Spot.
point?
It was.
Okay. He was
What
an interesting character.
I was gonna ask you what did you think about the Spot as a villain?
I liked it because he started off all goofy and then
Exactly
he
right.
became yeah, he came and then became more menacing over time, right? Throughout the film.
You know, the thing about the Spot, I feel like that's how Jamie Foxx Electro should have been portrayed.
Hmm.
Jamie Foxx Electro was goofy and
Mm-hmm.
he was upset with Spider-Man because he didn't like give him the time of day or something to that effect. But the Spot was similar, right?
Yeah.
Tying back to the first film, when they broke out of, and I forget the name of the company, but when they broke when Miles and Peter B. Parker broke into the company, they like messed a whole bunch of stuff up, and then
Mm.
Miles hit the guy with the bagel. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same. That's the same guy that
Yeah.
became the Spot, right? So the Spot has a legit beef with Miles, right? Because
Yeah.
he created him, but also knowing that the Spot in his human form was the one actually playing with like multiversal universes, and he's the one that actually brought the Spider from Universe 42 into their
Mm.
universe, and that's how Miles ended up getting bit.
Him. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like a full circle moment there.
Yeah. No, that's dope. And then you think about how weak the spot was at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his whole idea was like, no, I'm the one you need to worry about. And I was like, you sure? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like just playing with him, toying with him, right? It's like he eating a bacon, egg, and cheese while he fighting you. Like he don't even respect you. Like that's crazy. Like so the spot went on like a whole ordeal. Like, well, you know what? I'm gonna make you respect me. And
Yeah.
then throughout the duration of the film, he definitely earned respect.
Word. Word. Being able to hone his powers to the understand his powers to the point where he was able to build a device to get a little bit more power so he can go to another universe to get like his ultimate power like that was dope. And then them chasing him from universe to universe, it
Yeah.
it was great, man.
Yeah,
This was
yeah,
great.
it was great, man. And then I love the comedy in this film, right? We gotta at least express that because it's a lot of things that can go over a child's head. Yeah, this is animated, but this is definitely like one of those Shrek type of
Oh, for
like
sure.
Shrek type of comedies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whew, like you know what I'm saying? You're a kid, you're like, yeah, colors, but no, whew, like the jokes are for us.
Right. No, for real. And,
So well, I mean, just really quick, I enjoyed the like the symbolism. Like I know he had a BLM sticker on his hoodie, like on his backpack when he was in the office, and then just his parents' interaction, his mom, pretty much making no mamas why I love that, Papa, like everything was just dope about that. Like everything, like the family dynamic, his family dynamic, because it's really just them, right?
mm-hmm.
And you can tell that they really loved on each other. And like when Gwen Stacy showed up, it was just like, oh no, who is this? Who is this?
Right.
like,
this Jezebel.
Pretty much.
But also with Miles, right? Even outside of him being Spider-Man, just going through regular teenage stuff. Yeah. Well, I can't really talk to my parents because they wouldn't understand, but I love them so much, and if they only knew what I was going through, but him being scared to tell them that he's Spider-Man because of the implications that could lead to, it was just.
And then in the first film, he did kill his uncle, right?
So I can't remember if he killed his uncle or if he was there when his uncle like got killed. Like
it was something of that.
Something to that effect. Yeah.
I mean, well, obviously, if your uncle, dies in front of you, you're always going to have that PTSD of that.
For sure.
But I felt like it was kind of like remember how Peter Parker killed the Green Goblin in the first one? Like they were fighting, and then I think, hey, I didn't mean to kill you, but you was on some shit. Like I didn't do it. Like you did it. I just moved out the way. Like
exactly.
I felt like that's what happened, but that comes from me not watching the first film in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's see. Let's talk about Miguel O'Hara, right?
Okay.
I feel like well, first let me just ask you, what did you think about that particular character in this movie?
It's like characters like that are necessary evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're such a stickler for the rule, and the rule can't be broken no matter who it is. And I think he had a little bit of a personal vendetta with enforcing the rule because he felt that Miles wasn't worthy. Miles wasn't supposed to. You're not him. You're not supposed to be here. You're not a real, Spider-Man or whatever. And then that being enforced with the actual rule of these things have to happen in your universe.
Yeah.
So I think a combination of both of those just kind of pushed him to the edge. As to why he kind of he pretty much went from hero to villain real quick. Like he forgot about the spot.
Right, right, for real. And to that point, right? I feel like he was the actual real villain of the movie. Like the Spot is a villain, right? But I feel like he's like the subplot villain. He's a subplot. Yeah. Miguel is the actual villain, I feel like, because he's the one that wanted to neglect Miles in the first place. Yeah. But even when Miles ended up in his universe, he wanted to keep Miles there so his father could die, to the point where when Miles tried to escape, he pretty much sicked every Spider-Man there, which I saw it was like over 280 different Spider-Man that were animated. It took them 4 years to like finish that chase scene.
That's probably what it was.
Insane,
that's probably what took the 4 years.
right. So Miguel like basically trying to keep Miles from saving his father to create another quote unquote canon event. And going to the extremes that he went to in order to get Miles to not do that, I feel like is what made him the main villain.
It felt inhumane, but the only reason he had so much pushback because he actually tried it himself.
Yeah.
And I think that's the caveat in the personal experience part where I can kind of understand why Miguel did it. Mm-hmm. You understand why you want to reconnect with your family in another universe, but you something else doing that.
Right.
So no, I'm stopping you from messing up other universe. It's not just the fact I want your daddy to live too, baby. Like it ain't no personal. I know he didn't say it like that,
but essentially that's what he meant.
Essentially that's what he was saying, but he was just like, nah, bro. And I get Miles like, hey, my boy, like, why can't I? Like I have it's one thing to feel helpless and powerless when it comes to losing a family member. That's why it hurts when Peter Parker lost, Uncle Ben, or Peter Parker lost Gwen Stacy. But I actually have the power to stop this event from happening to me, and I'm still already Spider-Man. Nah, we ain't playing that game.
Big facts.
I don't need the tragedy. I'm already here, baby.
I'm already here. Yeah. No, that's real. That's
crazy,
real.
Bro. That's crazy, bro.
So outside of Miles and Gwen, right? Let's talk about some of our other favorite characters that were in this movie.
Yeah.
My first one, Spider-Punk. Hobie, I think that's how you pronounce his name, with the
Yeah,
guitar and the different
yeah,
animation style. No,
yeah,
my man was out here. I love him. I love
yeah,
him. He said one line. He said children are anarchists.
yeah.
I thought that was amazing. My man went against the grain at every turn. I loved it.
The I was outside of like Miles's parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Peter Parker's always enjoyable character. His daughter.
Oh, Mayday, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
daughter was like, she was like, don't tell mom. We put the mask on. I was like, that's my,
No, she
that's
with it. She with it
daddy's
already. I
girl.
love it.
Right, right. I was like, daddy's girl. So
Girl,
it,
dad.
right. I love it. I love that. The one girl that kind of manned the station with the portal thing, that was
Yeah.
I enjoyed that character. I thought that maybe her and Miles would have something, but he's already sprung on Gwen. So
Oh no, my man was big
I
sprung. He was
like
doodling.
I thought it was kind of like maybe a touch and go type situation, like a glare or something. I was like, I can see this. Or maybe I just wanted brown people to be brown people. I'm sorry. I didn't know,
I mean,
man.
love is love, right? Love is love, right?
Oh no, no, no. It's Pride Month. I want everybody to be with anybody you want to, baby. We ain't doing none of that over here. I don't discriminate, baby.
Um, and then my other favorite character, and I hope I pronounced this right, but it's Peter Pivotar, like
Mhm.
the Indian Spider-Man that was in the one
Hey,
Spider-Verse.
yo, that one?
He was fly.
That whole Indian universe, Pakistan, like
Yeah,
whatever that was. I want to be correct. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but that was a dope thing. That was dope.
absolutely. The way that he used his web with the bangle and all that, like that.
Yeah, like cold,
And
bro.
if you noticed, he was the only happy like Spider-Man. Like every other Spider-Man is like sad and had tragedy and shit, but he was the only one that was like
Because
really happy.
nobody died around him. He was able to save old
Miles
girl's
saved his
father.
dad. Yeah.
No, no, no. I'm talking about the Indian Spider-Man. Because remember, throughout the fight, his girlfriend was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know who he was, and then they saved her dad on the bridge.
Yeah, Miles
So
saved his dad on the bridge. Yeah.
so nothing seemingly happened to him. So he probably was just enjoying being Spider-Man, in his
Yep.
universe.
Yep. And the fact that in that scene he had only been Spider-Man for like 6 months. And for him to be able to do the types of things that he was doing with his like it was great.
Yeah,
That was a great scene. That was a great
yeah,
scene.
definitely, definitely. Um, let's talk about I guess the boss battle and how the story actually ended before we get into, I guess, lows if there are, and then overall
We'll wrap it
rating.
up. Yep.
Uh, that was a crazy fight, man, because like it was just like it was like a John Wick style of nonstop action for like maybe 40 minutes. Like it was just really a lot of touch and go, a lot of fight, a lot of swinging from here and there. The other Spider-Man couldn't catch him. The one on the horse with the spider like the Spider-Man.
So many different spider people. Like that dude was crazy.
It was crazy. And then when Miguel caught Miles, he was talking to that nigga
Look,
so like he talking to that man. I was like, damn, bro. Like when he told him like you ain't supposed to be here, like you ain't even a real one. And then he looked at Gwen, like that's what we on. Like you ain't my
like
bad.
you knew about all this. That's crazy. Like for real, I thought you was my little yeah.
He's like, my bad. That's what Gwen said.
Right. But then, Miles hit him with the nah, I'm tired of people telling me how my story's supposed to end. Nah,
Yeah, he's
he
bars.
hit him with that for real, for
No,
real.
no.
So I loved it.
I love that. And then he got up out of there. But they followed him. Like that's and then I thought about, how you watch a movie and I was like, this don't feel like this done. But I've been here two hours. I know I've been here 2 hours.
Facts.
Why this don't feel like this over yet?
But you know what's funny? So after that chase scene, I feel like the movie could have ended at least 3 or 4 different times. And every time I was like, okay, damn, this about to be this it. But it kept not being.
I thought when he escaped and he got to his universe, I'm like, okay. But I was like, wait, we gotta go save Dad. That takes at least another 40 minutes.
Man, look, for real.
I was like, bro, can we wrap this up, B? Like,
Right.
I was like, wrap this shit up.
That's funny as hell. Okay, so after he finally gets out, right? He gets into the little the device that sends him back to his own universe based off of his DNA.
Yeah.
Were you able to predict that he did not get back to his own universe?
No.
Neither did I. I was completely
No.
freaking clueless.
Yeah, because he was talking to his mom. I was like, "What you talking about? Ain't no Spider-Man."
Right.
Now the reveal that his dad is dead in this universe. His Uncle Aaron ain't even the guy that you think he is.
The problem,
He
yeah.
won them, but he ain't the one.
Right.
You are the one. You became Mini Prowler, Spider Prowler, whatever he was. He was
that reveal
that
was
that reveal
insane.
was dope. I ain't gonna hold you.
Because
That
I
was
could
dope.
not, I absolutely did not predict that happening, but it makes sense because that universe. So that was Universe 42, right? Where Miles was the Prowler. That universe's Spider is what bit our Miles Morales. So if our Miles Morales never would have got bitten, the 42 Miles Morales would have been Spider-Man, and he would have saved his dad probably.
Yeah.
That is it. This movie literally has everything. That was a hell of a plot twist because I was not expecting that
at the
all.
end of the movie. At the another plot twist at the end of the movie.
Jesus Christ.
Bruh.
It was great. It was great.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We try. Movies, we often praise them. We have a lot of highs. Are there any lows that you can think of?
I really tried to sit and think, and I wanted to try to go see it again before we did our review, because it's been actually a couple weeks since I've seen it. But
yeah,
I really don't know if there's any lows. Like if it is, it's me nitpicking. Like maybe Miles was too infatuated with Gwen or some shit. Like it was, which is nothing for real, right? Like
because Miles is 15. I guess he's supposed to be infatuated with a girl. Like it's
right.
It's like,
and she the only one that really like
paid
can
attention to him and understands him. Not paid attention, but understands him.
Yeah. So I really don't think I have any lows, bro. I don't.
I definitely I'm in the whip with you, bro. I got nothing. Like I can't nitpick it because when I instantly saw this, I said this is easily the best film of this year that I've seen.
What? Absolutely.
And don't let me get started on Spider-Man films. This might be recency bias, but it can sit at the top because they set the other one at the top. They said the 2018 is the best Spider-Man movie, period. Live action, animated. It don't really matter. I didn't say this, John. They said it.
They wrong.
What you gonna say? It ain't none of them Tom Holland joints. Oh, okay.
Oh, none of it. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about. See, look, I was like, what are we talking about?
No.
I was like, what, Spider-Man 3? Like, no, that's like what we do. What we talking?
That's funny.
But no, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I wanted to escape recency bias, but this is the best.
No, this shit's fire. Like, when was the last time you sat in the movie and while you're watching it, you said to yourself, this shit is absolutely dope. Like, this is fire. It's
this one. Like I said, and I was like, oh, this is a really good film.
One of the one. Like, this movie is so good. I'm gonna purchase this on Blu-ray. Like, if streaming shit go down, like I want to have this to be able to watch.
Yeah, and then I fell in love with the title track. Am I dreaming? Well, it's not a title track, but it's like the score of the film. Like, because it's just one of those songs. Like, if you heard it, you're like, but once you see the film and it ties into the film, you're like, oh, that it did it for me. So
it's one of them.
Yeah. So, Johnny, rating time.
Before we get into our ratings, let's talk about the big cameo reveal and two of the different universes that the Spot popped his head into. So we got a Donald Glover version of the Prowler in the movie. What did you think about that reveal?
A dope payoff, like, because they did little slick mentions of what actually happened in the real MCU, the live action MCU, and Donald Glover being the Prowler, or at least a version of the Prowler. Now that we know it's not a big Easter egg anymore, it's like oh, this is the Prowler now. You know what I'm saying? So now that's dope. I
enjoyed that a lot. And then the spot when he was like figuring out his powers, right? He popped his head into the Venom universe, like the universe from the Venom movies with the Asian woman in the shop.
Yeah.
I thought that was super dope, right? Like,
okay, yeah.
like damn,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
that's the Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh shit, I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was dope, right? And then he also popped his head into a Lego universe with Spider-Man.
Listen, let me tell you something. They make a Lego Spider-Man on their opening night.
They're a little bit.
Listen, you know how I feel about Lego Batman. So you give me a Lego spot.
Man, say what? Say less. Say less. Also, fun fact, and I really wish I knew this kid's name. There's a 14-year-old black kid that actually animated that. The Lego universe. So I forgive me for not having his name, but shout out to him because that was fire. That was fire as hell. Salute. All right, so I just wanted to get that out first.
No, it's cool. It's rating time, Johnny. Out of 5, what you giving it, bro?
For whatever reason, I feel like I really can't rate a movie a 5 out of 5. So I'm gonna give this a 4.99999999999.
That's crazy. But I don't want to do this, man. Because okay, I'm gonna go 4.75 because I'm scared. I'm being a punk right now. Like I'm being scary. I don't want to be at 5, but I mean, I have to acknowledge that this checked a lot of the benchmarks of a great film for me. The enjoyability, the action, the comedy, the emotion. These are voice actors, but I'm getting the emotions,
facts,
and the story.
Definitely.
And this is another point that I want to bring up. Usually, films that are a 2-part film. Usually the one before the last one is always the better one, right? So I got 2 examples, right? The Matrix Reloaded. Great sequel. Great sequel. Then you got to that third one. Like, Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, big facts.
Avengers Endgame.
Big facts.
Usually when they leave you with a cliffhanger, because you got to think about the cliffhangers in both of those films. Agent Smith actually getting into the real world Matrix, right? Like when he was unplugged from the Matrix. Yep. That was the what's name, right? And then Thanos actually winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so real. What we go do when it leads into the third Spider-Verse film, and we're like I don't know. We starting off with a fight. Where does it slow down? Because they already on go mode. like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we get a backstory? Like, what's going on?
See, the interest.
There's so many ways the story can go with that.
But I guess think about it this way: they have 2 villains they have to fight. They have to fight the Spot, and they have to fight Miguel. Miguel is still hunting them. So I feel like somehow they have to. And I doubt they fight each other together. Like I doubt that they fight each villain at the same time. Is what I'm trying to say. Like I don't think they're going to split up. And
well, the thing is, if it came to it, Miguel would have to understand what the real threat is. It's not Miles. It's the Spot.
Right.
So would you? After they don't, Spider-Man don't take oath, but I'm gonna just say the Spider-Man take oath, right? So it's just like with your Spider-Man oath. You go sit here and let this man fade up a Spider-Man or fade up a universe or kill another, kill an innocent person to fulfill some prophecy. That's crazy.
That is crazy, but that's why I think he's the real villain.
Yeah.
Real talk. Also, I've been seeing a lot of rumors about this, and I don't really know if there's any truth to it, but they're saying the rumor mill is saying that Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is the next movie, ends with Miles Morales going into a live action universe, and then a live action Spider-Man movie will happen somewhere down the line.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, that's a big if. But now I think we deserve to see Miles. Miles is blowing Peter Parker out the water. Like already, like with 2 animated films.
Yo, this This is probably
hey, John, you see what happens when you put some seasoning on some stuff, man?
every time. What you mean? Every time. Across the Spider-Verse is probably top 10 sequel movie, I feel like.
Bro, like it, you know what? I always want to have pushback when we're prisoners of the moment and we have recency bias and things like that. But good is good, bro. Like it's easily a top tier comic book film. Like easily, right?
Absolutely.
And listen, we talked about all of them since 2017.
Facts.
On this mic. And we have went deep into the archives just to talk about others. So
yes, we have.
I think we are the authority to say that.
Talk about it. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Across the Spider-Verse. Shout out to Miles Morales. Shout out to all the voice actors. Shout out to everybody involved in that film because you all did an amazing job.
I see why Sony ain't letting that shit go at all.
The original date for Beyond the Spider-Verse was, I think, like March 29th of 24. But this week, with all the other pushbacks, this movie has been pushed back to 2025. I forget what month, but it's been pushed back to 2025. So we won't see Miles Morales again for another 2 years. So, hey man, I'm copping this on Blu-ray day one. I want the digital copy. I want the Blu-ray. I want the DVD. I want all of them. I'm getting the steel book joint.
The collector's item. I want the director's cut.
I might all run it. Run it. So yeah, man. I think we reached the end of the docket.
Oh yeah, we have clearly reached the end of our docket. Johnny, what you got for him, man?
Oh man. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you for watching following us through this video for this long. Hit the comment section. Let us know about any of the topics we talked about today. Definitely let us know what you guys thought about Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes, sir.
And we will for sure be back next week.
Yes, sir.
With some more content for you. The Flash, baby. We'll be back with the Flash review probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that'll be next week for sure.
Big facts. And we on Zoom, so no song of the week.
Yeah. But now like Johnny said, man, we appreciate you guys for listening to us ramble for an hour, some odd change. We love you guys. Make sure you share this video, share the audio, share anything OS related, because OS is for the streets.
And with that, that's episode 191.
191.
And we out.
Chill.
Peace.